Desmond here from Performance Destination. If you're looking to have your car tuned, whether it's on the dyno or remote, reach out to us and see what we can do for you. We meet the needs on all computer systems. 4G63parts.com has been a complete help on this build. Everything that I needed for this car, whether it's transfer case, the intake manifold, anything you need, these guys have it all in stock, ready to go. I needed stuff like a built T-case. I needed that intake manifold, whether it's a fuel rail, whether it's a fuel system, whether it's anything. These guys get parts and they have everything that you may need, whether it's motors, transmissions, whether it's dog boxes, turbo kits, turbos, ECUs, wiring. They have it all. Reach out to the boys at 4G63.com.
High cuts.
Stuff does not get cheap, does it?
No. And I did double check on these guys. You had originally said on the list
the gate,
the 3.5 290s. They didn't have any tight radius pie cuts. That's why we ordered these in.
Okay.
So
I'm sure he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
One for Turbo Smart Turbo, one for Exonerotor Turbo for the exhaust flanges.
So, but yeah, the only thing I'll need to get in, and like I said, I can ship it down to your house.
Finally, we finally got our turbo. So we actually got our turbo back. Originally, I had my turbo already, and I wanted to upgrade my turbo to something a little bit bigger. And still use the same housing, still use the same compressor wheel, turbine wheel. We just want to upgrade the compressor wheel on the turbo. So let's take a look. Oh yeah, next gen. This thing looks so beautiful. Let's take this thing out of the bed. So excited to get this car finished up. This was the last piece we was kind of waiting on, and took a while, but of course, well worth the wait. I'm so happy to finally have this thing here now. So happy. So we did an upgraded compressor wheel setup on this car, on this unit. So originally, this was a 6870. I wanted to keep the turbine the same size. I wanted to keep the turbine the same size, but I wanted to upgrade to a bigger compressor housing for the additional, just a little additional power, a little more additional flow. This is the H cover, so it's the bigger housing. And so they took my same turbo, they upgraded the compressor wheel, and housing. Now it's a 7270 turbo. So this is like, I feel like this is going to be a really good combination of size. 72 millimeter, 70 on the turbine. I feel like it's going to help on the spool. I feel like it's going to help on the top end. It's going to help in the mid-range. And I can't wait to put this baby on there and test it out. Get this thing mounted to the turbo manifold, see what it looks like on the manifold, get the gates, get everything put on, and start seeing what this thing looks like. So next step, we went with Turbo Smart gates. I like how they are. They're super easy of swapping out springs. If you're either on the street, the track, whatever, it's so easy to swap out a spring. I don't need no vise, I don't need nothing. Like I could literally press down on it, twist the head, change out the springs if I want to, press the head back down, tighten the locking ring and be done. I didn't want to go through, going the hassle of unbolting and having a vise for your wastegates. So I just wanted to put a little something a little more user friendly on there. And I felt like this was the direction and the route to go. So like you can literally, all you have to do is literally, I could hold this head down or whatnot, twist the ring, unlock it, head comes off, swap out the springs, whatever spring I want in it, press this back down with one hand, other hand, lock it back into place, put it back on the car, and it's done. So it's just a lot easier of just working on the car. That's all it is. You just want something that's just easy to work on the car, something that's just less downtime. I don't have to run around trying to find a vise for swapping out certain things. All the gates work pretty damn good between this one or tile. I just went with this one because it's just so much easier just to unlock the ring and without having to do it with the vise. So it just makes it a little bit more easier if I need to change the gate pressure, loosen it or tighten it for the gate spring. And that's why I went with this. So I'm happy with this choice. All right, guys, I just want to show you this. This is the fitment. Turbo is on the manifold. The clamp is not even on. That's how good this manifold seals to this turbo. I just want to let y'all know that it's not even on. The clamp is not even on there. It's sealed so good that it holds the turbo in place, and the turbo is not even clamped down to the manifold. That's what you call good quality. So you got the turbo on to the manifold, looking pretty good. I love it. The fitment is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. The design is like gorgeous. I can't wait to see what this thing looks like on the car. So I'm gonna mount the gates first before putting it on. This way I could just drop everything in and just hook it on and hang everything and bolt it all the way up. This makes it a little bit more easier. But yeah, look at that. Perfect. Everything V-band. So I went with the V-band. It's easier to work with, easier to get everything on and off. Me personally, I've seen better performance using V-band than I've seen using T4 divided. So we just went with a V-band setup, large frame, like I mentioned, and just try to get maximum flow, maximum spool, maximum everything. So, but I want this thing to spool fast. That's the thing. I want to make the power under the curve, and I want this thing to come on really hard, really violent up top. So, hopefully we're gonna test this combination out. Who knows? It may be exactly what I wanted, or I may need to switch it up. But this is what testing and tuning is all about. Test out what I have. I could have ran the first turbo I had, the 6870 next gen. But I just wanted just a little bit more power on the top end. So I just upgraded the whole compressor side to 72 millimeter. And I think that's gonna give it the sweet spot of what I'm looking for. Got it all together. And that setup looks extremely beautiful. Ready to make some serious jam on this. Nice merge collector. Nice size runner. Decent size gates. Good size turbo. I went with this gate size. So a lot of the times everybody usually goes with like big gates. They're trying to go with 60 millimeter gates, big gates. I go with the smaller gates. These gates are gonna do its job just fine. Even if it was twin 38s, it'll do its job just fine. The problem is of what people don't realize is when these gates open, the recovery time to get this turbo to spool back up is where it matters. So if you have these big gates and versus a small gate, it's going to open at the same boost pressure, so it doesn't overboost. So amount of air or exhaust pressure that bleeds out of a big gate, it's going to slow this turbo down, and then the turbo has to work twice as hard to speed back up. So on the smaller gates, I run the smaller gates on all the cars I do, all the cars I own. And so whenever the gate closed, very minimum pressure it had to bleed off, and it puts the turbo right back into its efficiency zone for less recovery. The recovery part is critical on the power band in between shifts when you're banging gears, all of that. So I run smaller gates for that. It will help the recovery time on recovering for the power band for the shifts. And it's just, this is something I just do, everybody does their own thing. Everybody, he say, she say, but this is just what I do, and it works. And, if you take a big 50 or 60 millimeter gate and the gate opens up at 35 pounds of boost, it's going to open up. It's going to, because of the gate size, it's going to bleed off a lot of exhaust pressure. Now you take this gate and it opens up and it still bleeds it off perfectly where it doesn't so it doesn't overboost. When the gate closes, it's going to bleed off less pressure and it lets the turbo spool right back into its efficiency zone. So it's little details like that matters that I take in consideration when putting my cars together. Next up, we got the remaining the goodies that we need to put this car together. I already opened the box before, but that boy's JDC came through with a few of his goodies for me. And, just to put that a little additional style on there. So we went with the JDC coils on this car. So we went with his, I think this is called dry carbon. So where you have the dry carbon look, I think this is the best looking plate I've ever seen. And it's so beautiful. I love what this looks like. I completely love what this looks like. It looks so good when I put this on here. Get the valve cover coated. I did the valve cover in all black, but I love this. So what he also did for me was he also did the tuck wiring. So everything is ran underneath the coil packs. So nothing goes across, everything just, I'll put it on there and everything just gets tucked underneath. And it has the extended cable. So this cable is gonna go to the driver's side. It wraps underneath the intake manifold, and then it comes up the other side to connect to the other connection for the coil packs. So they're both coming out the same sides. Typically you'll see wire come from this way, wire come from that way, but I wanted to do everything on the tuck route, and this is like exactly what I'm looking for. So shout out to the guys and the boys at JDC. John, he's literally the best. Love that dude. So can't wait to put this on. Can't wait to put that on there. So we also went with valve cover plate. So this goes in front of the valve cover. So it'll mount, it has the mounting tabs. So it just kind of just displays, if I go to like car events, car meets, it just gives it a little extra touch, a little personality to the car. That's all this stuff is. The rest of this stuff is just to give it a little bit more personality so it doesn't come off, two race cars. So like JDC also makes that, and he engraves whatever logo, whatever design you want on there. He can do that for you as well. This is the plate for the exhaust cam housing. So this way it kind of deflects all the additional heat off of it. So I don't think I'm gonna run it too close, but just in case, he definitely hooked it up, send this out there for me. So I also have that, protect the sensor. And then he also sent me some additional upgrades here. So I have the additional upgrades for this is for the coil kit, the 2 bolts that bolts in for the coils, and then an upgraded fuse comes with the kit. So make sure you always upgrade your fuse. And he also sent me some titanium hardware. So I'm going to be, you know, obviously I removed the factory hardware out. When I put the new turbo manifold, two new turbo setup, everything on there, it's gonna look really nice. But I didn't want the old rusty hardware on there. So John at JDC sent me over some new stuff for it. I'm super appreciative of that. So this way I can have all new look underneath there and make it look nice and clean and special. So I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much on this. You know, JDC is like such a good company to represent and use. Every single time I emailed him, text him, call him, send him on Instagram, he responds immediately. His staff is quick on key of getting to you. You know, I love his coil and plug kits. Now, you know, I've tested other coil and plug setups on most Evos, and I get it. You know, sometimes the quality is also in the wiring too. So how it's wired, how it's crimped, a lot of that stuff. The JDC coils, I typically never, ever have a problem on the JDC coils. So of course, on my personal build for my personal car, we are going with the JDC coils. You know, John, as soon as I was building a car, you know, they reached out to me about some stuff stuff that could add some style, some flavor to the car. And I told them 100%, I want to run your coils. I want to get that on the car, and I want it in the dry carbon because everybody has like the standard carbon. I didn't want the standard carbon look, so you got the dry carbon on there. So yeah, I feel like this stuff right here is gonna look good. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put the studs on there because you also have to seal the bottom studs in the cylinder head, because the bottom head studs, the bottom exhaust manifold studs actually goes through the oil galley inside the motor. So if you don't thread these, it will leak oil, and you don't want that problem. So let me get this stuff threaded on there, get that stuff on there nice and sealed and dried up, and then we get ready to mount this on there and get this car finished up and get this car looking good for y'all. All right, so we got the studs on there. I put the sealant, and I also Teflon taped it as well. All these bottom studs all poke through to the oil galley of the 4G63 for the Evo. So if you don't seal them up on the threads back there, what's going to happen is you'll have everything bolted on, and oil will be gushing through here, and then your manifold, everything's going to start smoking, and you're going to think it's a head gasket, but it's not. It's the bottom studs. These poke all the way straight through to inside the motor to the oil galley. So you know, you want to just seal it off. But I did all of them just in case, just so it holds better, doesn't back out or vibrate or come loose. But yeah, I sealed everything off, and now we're ready to get everything mounted on. Oh, that radiator's hitting. I gotta come back out. All right, so now we got everything finished off. Turbo is on there, looking nicely placed, nicely angled. Manifolds on, gates on. I got everything clocked, so I want a nice smooth bend to the intercooler piping. It looks good. It looks really, really good. I like it. I like the way this looks. Everything came out perfect. Everything came out looking mean. It looks really, really good. Love it. JDC coils on there. So it looks good. I'm gonna change the color of the valve cover. Put this like in a more of a blackish color. Get that red off, and then yeah, we're ready to start rolling. Ready to start making some jam. See what this baby does. All right, the day has came. We are going to head and get our trailer and put the car on the trailer. And we're gonna head to drop the car off for fabrication. We got everything buttoned up on this car now. Turbo setup is on there. Manifold setup is on there. All the oil lines is on there. For the oil cooler, everything is ran. So we can do the fabrication end of things. So we want to drop it off, get everything fabricated, get everything nice, looking nice, and get this thing ready for completion. All right, we got everything loaded up on the trailer. We're getting ready to head down to go get the car delivered for fabrication. It looks good on the trailer with the wheels and tires. I like it. Looks really good. Looks really, really good. I like it, I like it, I like it. Looks really good, looks really mean. That front view, it just looks different. That headlight feature that I came up with, it just looks good. You know, something different, something to give a little unique taste. Something that makes you feel like, you know, that's my car. Sometimes, you know, everybody always do something to make it look like their personal car. That was a touch I did just to make it look like, you know, something different from everybody else. I love it. So, and once I get everything all done on this car, then I'm gonna go through, realign the hood, get the fenders realigned, get everything realigned, and then after everything's realigned, then we'll do a wet sand and buff and get that thing polished up, looking really nice. So, but I want to get everything done first, so many hands is not touching it and pushing it around and whatnot first. So shall see, you know. Make sure that door don't hit, but it looks good. Looks good. Can't wait. Looks really, really good. Had to stop off at Wawa and get me a matcha for this long drive. We'll be almost there. Almost there. So we're gonna keep on driving. Drop this baby off. All right.
You're good. You're good.
Getting this thing off the trailer and getting it inside the shop. Probably my first time steering this thing. Get this thing ready, right for fab. All right, so we're here. Where we at right now?
Orsi Fab.
Orsi Fab. Where are we located?
Fort Pierce, Florida.
Fort Pierce, Florida. Here to get the fabrication all done. Get this baby set up and finalize this build so we can actually go testing and go racing. These guys' work is amazing. They do an amazing quality of welding, titanium burning. Fab work is just so dope. So I wanted to make sure I get it done and make it look nice and clean. So we're gonna get it going, get it in there, and start working on this thing. You know, only the best. Trying to bring this thing together. All right, let's push this car in. All right. Get this thing inside the shop. There we go. All right, let's pull all the boxes out so we go through and do inventory check.
See. Titanium ferrules, Nancy.
Oh yeah.
One thing we can do, I gotta see if they make it, that we can do a transition from a 3-inch, they sell 3-inch ferrules to a 3.5-inch ferrule, reduce it down to a 3-inch. If not, I can make it.
Well, I already have the reducer.
Do you? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Then we're good then.
It's right here.
Yeah.
That right there.
Oh, the throttle body. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
good
so I
then.
already pre did it.
Perfect.
You know,
Yeah,
I
we're good on
already
that.
thought ahead. I didn't want no downtime.
I don't wait nothing.
I don't want no
Should be good.
downtime. All the pie cuts.
It's all fancy stuff. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Yep. So remember, so I have, all right, so I have 2 flanges here. So I have a Garrett
Those 2
flange
bones.
and I have a precision flange. So
the turbo?
for the turbo. So eventually, just so if I want to test out different turbos,
Okay.
now, and I think this one also works with what's it called, Exonerotor. But the thing is, Exonerotor flange doesn't fit on the precision V-band flange style, the 3-inch. So it's a different size. But I was speaking with the guy at Exonerotor and try to get them to make a 3-inch turbine housing flange. So if they can do that matches the same size, as far as interchangeable between precision and Exonerotor, then I can still, I want to, eventually I want to make a downpipe or an up pipe that is compatible and do the same exact way where I could just swap out turbos and still use everything and hook it up and then put on the dyno and I'm gonna test out multiple different turbos. Because the turbo manifold I have right now, the flanges are slightly angled differently so it could fit precision and HBT and some other turbos because they're all like different sizes.
Yeah.
So we have it where it's interchangeable for different turbos. So we could just take one turbo off, put another one on, and still have good clearance on it. So he already went through that and tested that out for stuff like that. But
That'd be sick.
that downpipe flange is for Exonerotor.
Okay.
And then they got this last piece right here too. This is so light.
Oh my god.
That feels like the same weight as that plate you had me just hold.
This is not even a pound. This is not even a pound.
Yeah.
That feels lighter than aluminum.
Yep. It's so light, and the thing is, people don't realize how light this stuff is, and it helps overall with the weight of the vehicle. So people don't realize the heavier your car is, the more stress it puts in your transmission. So if you have a very, very heavy pig, you're gonna break transmissions a lot easier than having a lighter car. It takes less force on the gears of breaking the transmission. So if you have a lighter car, you're more prone to likely to have your transmission live a lot longer and also your transfer case live a lot longer than you having the heaviest car and all that weight got to go through all that acceleration. So
I can tell you right now, stainless steel, this is not even close. Stainless steel will be pounds. This is less than a pound.
that's super light. So we got everything here. Let's go through it. So, kind of walk us through what you're kind of thinking, and we kind of put our heads together and see how we're gonna get this.
Bring this up a little bit
Right.
first to give us our start point,
Yeah.
and then we'll match it up with the bumper.
Which would give better clearance. Don't get me wrong; it clears just fine on the trailer and everything like that. But I want a little bit higher and whatnot.
Bring it up a little bit. That'd be easy.
Yeah.
And then plus you just got tapped, so we can make that easy. We'll cut the turbo back probably at least here. One for weldability, and then the Van Gen split better. And just a lot of times, every time I do a Van Gen, so you add another 1.5 inches. So I always cut back to this ridge, and then it kind of welds nice. Wastegate wise, that one's almost gonna be straight. This one, we'll have to get a little creative with.
Yeah. If we could kind of make it, I want kind of like symmetrical, kind of in a way. So if this one has to go down a little bit more,
That's what I was gonna ask you.
then have to put this one down a little more. Because I would hate to have this one how it is and have that one up, and then it looks, it look kind of funny. So I would like to have it more symmetrical, and then however we got to do it, let it come up and whatnot. So, and we're gonna go right
I
out
was gonna ask if you want them like that, or this one to come over with it, or whatever.
No, I wouldn't want to come
all
over.
personal preference.
Just straight up, straight up. You could do
Right to the
straight. You
point.
could do straight up, or you could kind of like do a little curve, if you want, like a little curve around it, and go straight up. A little curve around it and straight up, and then everything teardrop. So it'll be. I don't want it to be too high out the hood. It's just gonna be enough where it's just just slightly above, just a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't want it. I've seen some guys and
want
it
it
sticks up.
basically
It sticks up way too much.
Yeah, you want it like pretty much like that.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So it's not burning the paint as much.
Yeah. So it goes. The fumes can kind of go over it. The heat goes over it.
Down pipe, up pipe's gonna be a little funky. It's gonna be a little tight in there, but we'll just have to play with that. See how we get with that.
Yeah. The down pipe is definitely gonna be tight.
We might have to go down and over or just straight over. We'll play with that though and see. But anything's possible.
So the thing is, what makes it tight is this. Because if anything, if this was placed differently, then we could have ran the downpipe, the exhaust up this way.
Yeah.
Because there's all this. Remember, if all this room, that's going to be all right here, not being used. So we could have, because the turbo is already going to be angled, so it's already in the transition of kicking out this way and going up. But because of this, like if
It's not too late.
I don't know however, if you feel like you want to move this over to make that work,
Okay.
Because then both pipes will come out this way because there's enough room, and then one pipe will come out that way because there's enough room. Because it will be tight to come out this, like it'd be tight because of the angle of how the turbo's already crooked.
Because the V-band's gonna add another half inch, and
Yeah.
then
And
that was the issue we had with the Blue Evo, is I had to get like kind of curly Q with it.
Yeah.
Because when you put the 90 on it literally was just hitting the block.
Yeah. So the thing is with this, I want everything has to flow.
Yeah.
Like I don't want like intercoil piping that, or for the turbo. Not really too care about the gates. For the turbo exhaust, everything has to have a nice flow versus no sharp bends. So I want it so it has to flow nice and smooth.
Correct.
And out. So I think it's gonna look good. I think it's gonna look good. Same thing with the intercooler piping. Just we have all that space. Nothing else is gonna go here. So
This shouldn't be too bad.
So yeah, nothing
We'll
else
come
gonna
off,
go
keep
here.
it straight here, and then down.
If you want, you could probably run it even closer to here. Instead of coming here, you could run it closer to here, just so you don't have to go as sharp if you don't want to.
Yeah.
So you kind of keep it.
The only thing with the Van Jans is they do allow wiggle, so I just have to make it to where we're not wiggling and hitting that.
Right.
But yeah, 100%.
Yeah. If you run it closer to that, it'll give it a better bend up there. And everything coming down, smooth bend. It's through everything. Smooth bend through everything. Everything smooth bends.
Yeah.
I don't know why I went titanium on this side, but it's whatever.
Cool.
It's whatever. This bumper barely gonna be coming off, so I should have went just regular aluminum, but I already bought all the material for it. But I guess it's for the weight.
Yeah, it'll look cool still.
Yeah, for the weight.
One thing I am seeing though, that back housing looks bigger than 3-inch. That looks like 3.5 or almost 4.
Could be.
The exhaust.
Well, it kind of flares.
Yeah, 3-inch. But we've got other stuff to work on if anything. So it's not the end of the world. We can do the intercooler piping first.
Yeah. Well, if you measure it out, and if you need a bigger one, I could call them first thing in the morning. So we could measure before I leave. We can measure it out. I'll call them first thing in the morning and get the right stuff sent and just have it sent directly to here.
Yeah.
But I would just, if that's the case, then I would just exchange what I have.
Yeah.
And get the right one.
Yeah.
Where's it at? You said 3-inch? No, it's 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
And all the are those 3.5 though?
Yeah, they're 3.5.
These 3.5.
3.5?
Oh, those are 3.5. We're good then.
Yeah.
Is 3.5? Yeah, that's 3.5.
Yeah, everything's 3.5. I'm about to say.
My bad. I
Yeah.
scared you for no reason.
Oh, you know what? Dang, I don't think I even needed this then. Because I went 3 to 3.5.
Worst comes worst, I can make these.
So we'll see.
Yeah, the inside's only 3.5.
Inside
Which should be good.
It's 3.5, so we're fine there. What's the throttle body?
That looks like 3.5. Yeah, 3.5.
Damn. So I don't need this. So everything is there. It's fine.
Yeah, we're good. I
Okay.
scared myself for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one
Everything is fine then.
fine too.
Okay, so the piping is going to be 3-inch all the way around, from turbo, intercooler, end tank, throttle body, and then the throttle body itself is 3.5. So this is right. So we're going to go from 3.5 to 3 inch. Put it on like that. I know I measured it, so I don't know why I was second guessing it. And then yeah, and it was reduced down, and then go right to what we need it as. So yeah, it's pretty good with that. Yeah, so the inside, they got the sequential. So the sequential, let me go in there and pop it up. So sequential, all this comes off. All this comes off.
How you want to mount that?
Yeah, I want to make a plate to mount this. This comes off. And then this also comes off as well. So this comes off as well. So what I want to do is I want to make a plate that mounts to the
Factory location,
to the floor, and have this mount to the plate. So I do have a plate. It may be the right, yeah, exactly the length I need. So I don't know if it's the right, yeah, right there. So I want to have this drilled and mounted to the body, and then I have the sequential mounted to the plate.
To plate, yeah.
Yeah, so it's easier to remove and whatnot, and probably just do something where we could just weld a tab to the back of the plate for the nuts. This way I could just unscrew, and not where it's like double sided or anything like that. And then have this like as centered as possible, right where the shifter is in the center of the hole, to have that as center as possible. Correct. For the shift boot, to have it right in the center, and have that set up as well for the shifter. That's it for the interior wise for that. Doable?
100%, yeah.
All right.
Kind of like a throttle body adapter.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that.
Adapter.
So what we're gonna do is, what I want to do on my car, I'm gonna control the boost with a drive-by-wire throttle body. So I'm still gonna have a standard throttle body. Let's pop the hood real quick. I'm still gonna have a standard throttle body on this car. So whenever I switch to my standalone system, I'm gonna be controlling the boost by drive-by-wire, and I'm gonna use CO2 to keep the gates fully shut. So I have a titanium drive-by-wire flange here for Bosch, and that's the thing, that I don't know where I want to put it. I don't know if I want to put it on this side of the piping, or if I want to put it on the turbo side of the piping. That's where I don't know if it's going to make a difference in spool, of the difference of power, or
I would almost say turbo side, so you're bleeding off hot air instead of cold.
Yeah.
But both sides kind of work.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is, I want to run this car on stock computer first. So what we're gonna do is, I think, and then I'm gonna go standalone. I got some goals I want to make on the stock computer, a quarter mile record. So what I want to do is we'll place this on there at a good placement, and then I want to make a block off plate.
That's what I was gonna suggest.
Yeah, a block off plate, and keep it closed until I'm ready to use this for boost control. You know, I'd rather do it that way because it keeps my turbo shafts at full speed for spooling in between shifts, all that, than me slowing the exhaust pressure down that's coming into the turbo. The turbo would stay at maximum speed on the shaft speed, and then it'll just slowly bleed off the boost that I don't need to maintain the boost curve that I'm looking for the target. So something different, you know. But right now I want to do the car on stock ECU, and then we're gonna switch the car and then we're gonna control it with this. But I'm gonna also do stock ECU right now. We're gonna do standard throttle body, but then eventually I'm also gonna do drive-by-wire on manifold throttle body, and then drive-by-wire boost control strategy on intercooler piping. So I'm gonna have it two ways, set up two different types of strategy points. That one would be by TPS. This one will be strategy by boost pressure. So it could be boost pressure by RPM, and I could open and close depending on how much I want, depending on the boost pressure it reaches. But I'm gonna do it right now in stock ECU as is, but this is gonna be on there because it's also going to control boost, but it's gonna be blocked off so we can just run the stock ECU and it not affect my boost for what we're gonna do on stock computer. So the car is dropped off. Getting everything fabbed up how we want it. Everything to be nice and smooth. I want everything to be functional, but I also want everything to kind of look good. You know, I take a lot of pride in my cars. So we're gonna be back in a few weeks to pick this thing up. He's gonna finish off everything we wanted, all the even the custom things we wanted to get done. This way it makes life a lot easier working on the car. And I'm happy to get this far in the build, and I'm appreciative of all the positive feedback I've been getting on this whole process. And yeah, you know, so just stay tuned, and we'll see for the next episode, and hopefully we get this thing all set up, buttoned up, and final stages before getting it ready for the dyno. And then after the dyno, sure enough, we're going straight to testing. Might even be testing the same week I dyno tune it. So just stay tuned, and we'll just keep updates coming and keep y'all informed for more future setups that we got going on for this thing. So it should be very interesting. A lot of testing, a lot of different things we're gonna be trying, a lot of explaining everything. And like I said, when I'm done building this car, I'm gonna do a whole sit down, walk through talk about everything. Why I did this, why I went with this part, why I went with that part, the motor specs, everything. So just stay tuned, and I'll see y'all on the next episode.